Well, hey folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC, and this is the 90mm F-22, the 6S high performance version. This is before they came out with a thrust reversing ESC, but it does have a regular 120 amp ESC, but you bring it in a high alpha, you don't really need the reverse thrust anyways. We're gonna take her out in the field, and it's a very windy day. Let's have some fun with her. All right. Let's take the 90mm F-22 from FREEWING up. This is the 6S high performance version, not the 8S. Let's take her up, have some fun with her. Very, very windy. Let me back up a little bit.
Experienced mode, AS3X mode.
All right. Right, left, up, down. Okay. Look at my flags right there. It's a little windy. But actually it's a lot windy. All right. Oh, Lord be with me. Here we go.
Gear down, gear up.
I'm gonna go out here now.
Time remaining 3 minutes. Gear down.
All right, my gear is down. Haven't flown this plane in quite a while.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
All right, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's windy, windy. Very, very windy. It's good. I'm the only pilot here, so sometimes it is a good thing. Got that KM model afterburner. It's a good thing to come out, go on the other side of the runway. If you're the only person here, you know, go out here on the other side of the runway. Change your perspective a little bit. That's good practice. Because you never know, you know, what's going to happen, and you may suddenly have to change your perspective for whatever reason. Definitely don't need flaps today. Not as windy as it is.
Gear up.
I mean, it is windy too. All right, I'm gonna bring it right at me. What a sweet flying F-22. All right. Bring it right at me again, this time with bringing the gear down.
1 minute.
See, the gear is coming down now. All right. Get my sync rate established. Line up with my runway here. All right, 30-second mark, so I definitely got to land it now.
20 seconds.
I'll be in the grass, but that's okay. Sorry about the sun.
Timer expired.
And that was a 4-minute timer, just so you're aware. All right.
Prop secured.
Timer is exactly expired after 4 minutes. Take it back to the bench, we'll get you a battery report. All right, we flew exactly 4 minutes. Set timer for you. 4 minutes. And we had 24% left on a 6,000 RC Hackers with a 100C discharge, and that's my placement on it. All right, we'll be back for a little bit for another flight. All right, here we go. 90mm F-22, 6S version, high performance. Not the 8S, but the 6S. Very windy, but that's okay. KM model afterburner. Very bright though, so you may not be able to see that. All right. Timer set for 4 minutes. Flying in my high rates. All right, do not need flaps today.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
More than enough power to go for that outside loop from inverted. Straight up.
Gear down.
All right, make a gear pass here. And my gear is down.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
All right, we did our craziness. Let's get some landing drills now. A bit of touch and go. In the grass, but still a touch and go. But there again, it is awfully windy. I'm really having to fight the wind. That AS3X, poor thing, it's really fighting the wind today. Running at 5,000 HRB, just so you're aware. There. He didn't like it, so I was able to power back out of that and make a beautiful landing. Still got a minute, so let's take it up one more time. Have to be a quick up and down though.
1 minute.
That's the version 4, or no, actually version 5. Nope, version 4, sorry. Version 4 of the KM model afterburner. It's in there. All right, this time is going to have to be my landing. All right, line up with my runway, establish my sink rate. Let the throttle control my sink.
30 seconds.
There we go. All right, didn't even need flaps. Yeah, well, I'm into the wind, so I don't really need flaps. All right, we still had 30 seconds left, but we're gonna call. I don't want to try to push it again. So solid 3.5. Pause, we'll go back to the bench and talk about it. Well, we'll go back to the bench and get your battery report. I want to fly it again. All right, we had 23 seconds left and 25% left on a HRB 5000. So really, I would have probably brought it back at probably 18 or 17% if I would have gone the full 4 minutes, but that's okay too. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, taking up the FREEWING 90mm F-22 again. Now this is the 6S version, not the 8S version, but it is the high performance. This is before, this is right before they came out with the 8S version. They had just the 6S high performance one. Timer set for 4 minutes. Run a 4,000 or 5,000 HRB in my high rates. And here we go.
Gear up.
Oh, I do love the way this thing flies and sounds.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Getting rocked around. Getting rocked around by the wind. It's very windy today, but right down the runway. Do a landing pass without the gear down. Well, maybe. Beautiful plane. Gorgeous plane.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Gear down.
All right. Still got 1 minute and 10 seconds. One more quick up and down, just to get the battery down to 20%. All right, here we go.
1 minute.
All right, line up my runway, let my throttle establish my sync rate. I'm concentrating on that nose light is what I'm concentrating on now. Throttle is everything, folks. Throttle is everything. All right. Yeah. Thought I was going to lose it there for a second. But we saved it. You got to find that right pocket of air just to let it ride on in and keep enough positive momentum and speed to maintain lift. All right, let's take it back to bench. We had 3 flights. We're going to talk about, I gave you a battery report. I will after this one. Love that KM model afterburn, but we'll go over rates and all that in just a second. Meet you there. Real quick though, real quick. Look at that thing.
Motor on.
Is that not beautiful?
Prop secured.
Now that is, like I say, this is the original 90, the first high performance one they had before they came out with the 6S. So, or before they came out with the 8S. So this one does not have thrust reverse. But you can see, I mean, if you bring her in a nice high alpha into the wind, you really don't need it. You really don't need it. So I'm pleased with it. I do hope that someday they'll come out with an updated version of the 90 with all the plastic cladding and all the lights, everything FREEWING. Are you hearing me? All right, see you. Let's go back to bench. All righty. After that third and final flight for the day on the 90mm F-22, we had 29% left, and I had 33 seconds left on a 5000 HRB. To show you, and I put all three of the 6S's that I just flew in the exact same spot. If you look, see that black mark there? That's where I've got, I say 5000. So I've got it slightly back, because this is a 6000 HRB, slightly further back than that. Remember, the rule of thumb is always the bigger the battery, the heavier the battery, the further back, the lighter the battery, the further forward. Let me plug that KM model afterburner back in. Thank you, KM models. Oh yeah, I want to share something with you real quick. One thing I did do, you see this wooden tray, wooden plate right here? I epoxied that in, and then from under, you see the two screws coming through, from underneath in the housing, the back plastic housing that the retract attaches to, I ran them two big long wood screws up through there and through those two wooden plates and epoxied everything together, sandwiching it together, and now there is no give and no shake with this landing gear other than what it's supposed to do, other than the give it's supposed to have. Okay? The suspension. Sorry, I got my butt in your face. All right, let's go over the rates. All three of these flights, because it's so windy, I was taking off into the wind, landing into the wind. Real quick, let me pause. Let me make sure you can see all my control surfaces. Oh yeah. All right. And folks, whenever you're watching my hat cam videos, and this is a hat cam video, whenever you're watching them, please watch them on the big, don't watch them on your phone, okay? Don't watch them on a little screen. Watch them on preferably a big TV if you have a big screen TV, or at least your computer monitor on the biggest screen possible, because otherwise you're not going to really fully enjoy these flights. All right, enough of that. CG on the plane, I do apologize, I don't remember the numbers per se, and it's not, this is before they started putting it on the wings, but if you look underneath, if you look for this cheater here, and there's two jagged lines straight in from that jagged line where I've got that black mark, that's the CG spot. Same thing on this side, and all I do, I like to check CG with the gear down, okay, like she's going to land, and she's basically perfectly level right there, which is perfect, where I've got that CG and where I've got that battery. Okay, now I'm running an AR, I apologize, it's a 6 channel, it is an AR 367T Spectrum receiver, dual diversity, upgraded to AS3X Plus. Okay, all right, the rates that I just flew in, 100%, or actually ailerons, 90% with 50% expo on the ailerons. Elevator, 100% with 50% expo. And rudder, 100% with 50% expo. That's my high rate. It's the only thing I fly her in. I didn't use flaps, but let's share it with you anyways, because there is a mix, not much of one. Flaps up on Spectrum are -100. Takeoff
flaps
are -20 with a 2% down elevator. And landing
flaps
is a +85 with a 7% down elevator. You get the amount of elevator deflection you almost can't, it's almost undetectable. It's very little. 2-second deployment on that. All right. For my forward programming, and I've got the settings I'm using on this, absolutely have this thing locked in as the saying goes. I do not have a nose wheel gyro going. The gains I'm flying in on roll, pitch, and yaw are 30, 40, and 50. My priorities are all at 100 on roll, pitch, and yaw. Heading, I don't have anything done with. Stop lock is 50, 50, and 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw, and 55, 55, 75 on roll, pitch, and yaw. one-time gains on that, and those settings just seem to absolutely get this plane locked in really, really well. With a 6000, you can set your timer at 4 minutes, fly the way you want. You're going to come back with a solid 20% left on a 6000. If you're going to put a 5000, I would bump that timer back to 3.5 minutes and fly the way you want, and just so you'll probably come back at 25-30% there too. So just 3.5 to 4 minutes, depending on what battery you use. This is a big 90. I wouldn't go any less than a. I wouldn't put a. If I put a 4000 there, I'm going to put it all the way forward, and I'd only have my timer for 3 minutes because I'm going to run through that juice pretty quick, and I don't want to kill the battery. As you find in this hobby, that one of your biggest expenses is LiPos. So that's more of your ongoing expense. So, alrighty. There is one thing you do need to do when you're setting this up, and I know this holds true with even the newer versions of this, is, let me get my back to you, sorry. If you look, I have the bottom of this elevator almost perfectly level with the front structure, which means the back of this elevator is up by about 2 millimeters. So that's where you're going to want to have, that's the neutral setting. So up about 2 millimeters in the back, and then perfectly level at the beginning with the bottom of the fuse, and that's where you want your default level set for your elevator. She'll fly much better that way. Otherwise, you're going to constantly be pulling back on your elevator. So, all right, folks. Well, there you go. That is the older, beat-up version of my. I mean, look, I got a bad scrape there. I've had to glue the nose cone on. This is all vulnerable here because they don't have plastic cladding yet. I hope they add that. This is all ate up here because this is a bad wear point for EDFs. I got wingtip strikes. I've got compression points here. Nothing that's going to keep the plane from flying. That just makes it look bad up close. Both of these gear have fallen out twice because manufacturers don't believe in putting in enough glue. But luckily it happened on the ground. It didn't happen when I was landing. So I just unscrewed them, slid them out, threw them back in there, put more glue in. Done that a couple of times. Actually, you know what? I only done it once, but with each one. So, and you know, I hadn't any problem. The nice thing about the ESC is it sits right above this EDF in the middle here, and it's exposed to all that inlet air. So you pretty well keep your ESCs nice and cool. One thing I don't like about it is that's stupid to me. You've got this wonderful compression nose strut, right? But the only thing, or nose gear, but the only thing holding it all in there is this plastic arm here. Same thing, I think it's on these too. No, they just hold the door on. But that's just a plastic arm. If that little plastic breaks, that thing's gonna spin out of control. Why on earth would this be plastic? This should all be metal. And I believe all the new stuff is that way. So, all right, well, there you go. Let's get a nice glamour shot for the thumbnail. There you go. Folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber, seeing what this fat guy is all about. And folks, God is good. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, F-22s, and keep them in the air. Bye-bye.